you ever dreamed of walking around crowds with that strong, sculpted physique, but that not only endures respect and admiration amongst your peers, but more importantly, becomes an enhancer to your life in terms of unlocking hidden opportunities within your career, mental and physical health, and even relationships. I too was in a similar situation, yet I saw that spending 100 hours in the gym was optimal for getting the best out of best gains. Because consistency is key, right? Well, in this instance, no. In fact, the previous training method I used was heavily utilized by these social media influencers who were not only a product of fame and views, but more specifically, steroid abuse. I then came to realize as a natural lifter, uh, it's best to it's essential for to train uh, less to get the the best out of best the best out of best in terms of consistent gains. Today I will inform you about low frequency training and the three principles that encompass it. Starting off with the first principle of this training method is the recovery within sessions. Recovery is probably the most important and profound ingredient when it comes to training in general. It might as well just be more important than training itself, since you are uh, putting maximum effort amongst your sets. Your muscles and joints, and even your central nervous system, are fatigued. Yes, not only do your muscles and joints demand recovery, so does your central nervous system, since it is firing hundreds of electric signals that apply to the movement to exert a certain amount of force depending on the number of muscle fibers. Research of research of the University of Mexico have even concluded that 48 hours is a maximum for greater recovery within the muscles and central nervous system. They've also discovered that a lack of this recovery obviously falls into a decrease of performance and even a severe condition called overtraining syndrome, which essentially gives this chronic fatigue to the joints and muscles. And that is another point. Recovery prevents any injuries from taking place within the gym. Since your muscles are going to grow faster, your ligaments and joints take some time. So it's obvious that taking some proper recovery within your sets and workouts itself uh, will help your ligaments and joints eventually adapt and grow stronger. So with that said, these attributes will contribute greatly to sustaining your fitness goals in the long term. The next point of this training method is the metabolic stress acquired, or training to failure. Because of the minimal quantity you have within each training session, you basically give yourself the opportunity to train 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 intensively amongst your lifts. It's even been concluded multiple times that throughout training and history itself, that training close to failure is is essential for acquiring maximum gains in terms of strength and performance. Even a recent study examined the proximity to failure, as they had one subject training with low reps in reserve from failure, and another subject with high reps in reserve from failure. They both had similar trends within the graph, and that leads us to conclude that training shy from failure will yield basically similar, if not greater, results than training high reps in reserve. Finally, the third pillar of low frequency training is the emphasis on your main lifts. Since this training method focuses on intensive output, you'll have fewer exercise and set selection. Therefore, to best out of get the best out of less with this training, you best ought to implement your main compound lifts, as they not only teach your body and muscles to work as one unit, but more importantly can translate into day-to-day activities. For instance, training yourself to do a conventional deadlift tells your body how to pick up heavy objects from the floor. As you adapt to this technique and strength, you will be able to properly lift these heavy objects from the floor without having any strain or on your back or such injury. They can even also help you with any vertical strength, having this vertical strength not only can yield tremendous supplementation to your other pushing movements, but more importantly can help you when it comes to stabilizing a table on top of your head, or even lifting objects off of shelves. So, in a nutshell, there are plenty of training methods out there that may leave you confused or flabbergasted or in this plateau of what to choose. But since the very beginning of this speech, I've given you thorough insight into these profound and essential principles that embody low volume training. To conclude this, I hope that during your fitness journey, whenever life throws unexpected mishaps or events at you, you can trust low frequency training to get to have consistent gains over the long term while you crush it out there in life.